Hey!
Welcome to
We're the Lunchie Show!
We rebranded.
We're still figuring this out. How are you guys?
It's Sarah's birthday today.
It's my birthday! This is why I got
Everyone
my
wish her happy birthday.
cat ears on. Celebrate your birthday. Look, she got me trees. She's the fourth person who's bought me trees for my birthday. I guess you guys can tell what I really love in this life. I'm a tree mom.
Tree mom.
Yay! So we are opening the conversation to
Conscious communication.
We hear about that a lot.
Yes.
But are we practicing it?
Do we even know what it is?
Do you know what it is? What does it mean to consciously communicate with somebody?
Most of the time, up until a few years ago, I think for the most part, I communicated out of my wounds and what I was taught or what I witnessed growing up. And with I love my parents, but they fought a lot when I was little. And so because they had so much conflict, I avoid conflict. So my communication tactic was to just be quiet and stuff what I was feeling.
Most of us are operating from our wounds.
Yes.
When we talk. I get very for a long time it was defensive, or taking it really personal.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to segue into our tips.
Yes.
On how to avoid operating from our inner wound, or from the way that we might have been trained. And that's most of society. We've been trained to communicate in a way that doesn't work with how we are now. We are a society leveling up. So one of the first things you can do for conscious communication to avoid putting somebody into that situation where they feel like they need to defend is to use I feel statements. It's really important to come in and first ask permission. Hey, is this a good time for you? Because, right, Lindsay's got her own movie going on in her head. She's got things that she's doing, whatever it is. And I might just come trundling through and be like, look, this is really upsetting. And you're like, I'm watching my movie right now. What's happening? So it really helps to say, hey, is right now a good time? Can we have a conversation about, and then you label. This is also imago work. Gay Hendricks is somebody who they do amazing work too. Yeah. It's just one form of it. So coming in and asking permission first, and then using I feel, Lindsay, that when we do movies, I have a really great time doing them with you. So I want to do them more. And then Lindsay might respond like,
thank you for expressing. What do you need from me?
This is really good. This is how we work. That's how we work.
And keeping it about the behavior and not the person. Because what do you do if someone's pointing the finger and you did this? You go into defense and you put walls up. I do that. So when you're talking about the behavior, so I feel irritated at whatever the behavior is and not something that you literally did. It takes the shine off of that person, and they're not going to go into defense as easily or as quickly or as strongly as they might when they're just being straight up attacked.
Because the trait.
Yes.
It's not them.
Right. And focusing, and that's a big thing with kids too, focusing on the behavior. I'm studying that right now. So focusing on the behavior and not the child. The child's not bad. They might have done something not up to your expectation or your rules or whatever it happens to be, but they're not bad themselves.
And most people just want to be heard.
Yes.
So keeping that in mind with, knowing that about yourself and your partner or your person or whoever you're trying to have a conversation with, or whoever's coming at you, if somebody's coming to you for a conversation about something, most often just saying, getting curious, not furious is one of the slogans I love. Getting curious about it and saying, tell me more. Wow, oh my God, I was heard. That's it. I just need to say it. Hey, when you didn't put the new toilet paper roll back on, I was really annoyed, but I'm glad you heard me and I'm done. No big deal. So most people, that's a huge solver right there. Just being heard. So you could say, and then one other step of conscious communication is, so she would say, I feel really irritated with you, Sarah, that you didn't put the toilet paper back on when you used the last roll. And I say, okay, if I'm hearing you correctly, so that's the next step. So you ask first for permission. Hey, is now a good time that I talked about no toilet paper on the roll? Number two is that you put and knowing what you're going to talk about. So can I talk to you? Great. About this. Like, hey, it's now a good time. So then, and then three, after you hand the ball over, the next step would be that that person would say, if I'm hearing you correctly, and you repeat back what you think you've heard. And then you do what Lindsay just did. So that's the next step. And we're just making our own steps here and how there could be another theory about how these steps go. But is there anything more that you wanted to say to that? And then the closure of that conversation usually is a practice of where you could put some steps into place. You've heard each other, perhaps maybe that person has something they'd like to say back. Well, you know what? I feel really irritated that you put toilet paper in the cupboard for me to put on the toilet paper roll. You could bounce it back and say, great, now you guys have an understanding, and maybe you could come up with some solutions.
Mm-hmm. And I think one of the biggest things is when you are going to communicate with somebody, take a second and center yourself so you're not coming into the conversation really heated or emotionally charged. Mm-hmm. When you're able to think clearly and you're more balanced, you're going to be able to have a more effective conversation.
Oh, that's so big. She's really great at that. I'm not so good at that. I'm like an instant, let's talk about this. I feel it right now, let's talk about it. It's a good practice to wait. Jackie has one of the sayings, I'm going to go meditate on that. Let me do that. What is she doing? She's going to wait before deciding, before talking about it. And that really does help us to understand if it's the action or if it's us. Because it's a lot of times it's triggering something in us. It's really may not be a big deal. Or, if it is triggering, there's an easy solution. Everything is figure outable that you can come with better with a solid ground. I think one other key part, and a very important part of conscious communication is not just what you're saying. And I know this stuff sounds cheesy, but it really does work. There's tons of research behind what we're saying right now that really does work. I'm telling you, it really does work. Is your body language. If I'm like this when Lindsay's trying to talk to me, or on my phone, yep, how does that person feel?
Rejected.
Because I'm rejecting them.
Not important.
Yeah. Their feeling doesn't matter. What they're saying doesn't matter. And you can be like, no, I really care. I really care. Like,
yeah.
It's not, put your phone down, y'all.
Yeah.
Whatever you got in your hand, stop for a minute. If that person asks for your permission, it's now a good time. Set the things down. That's why it's really important to say, it's now a good time to talk about the toilet paper roll. Set your stuff down. And what's another really big important thing that we should do?
Not catching the ball.
Eye contact. So not just setting stuff down, but I'll notice, I've had a lot of conversations with people. And when you try talking to some people, it's uncomfortable for them. So they might do things out of a behavior, trying to protect themselves, which is like this, looking away. So they might not have things in there, or like closing their eyes. I've had conversations many times with people who just close their eyes during the conversation. And even though it might be hard for them, it's eye contact. And getting on the same level. Yeah. So with kids, you ever notice how we parents are so big and we lean over them? This is the same with a relationship. Sometimes if I really want somebody to know that I'm coming from love, I do this. I get down underneath. And I'm like, hey, I just really want to tell you, like, something hurts, and like want to convey it. And I'll come down so I know that that body can feel, her body on a primal level understands that I'm coming from love. I'm not trying to dominate her. I'm not trying to take over or make her do something. Yeah. I'm trying to come from a deep feeling and desire for solution. So make sure you're not overpowering somebody with your body, and make sure that you are also looking at them, and that, like you could point. Toilet paper really means something to me, Lindsay. Yeah. And then she was like, eager to know. Great. Tell me more. Look, it's solved. Yeah. It's that easy, guys. We've just solved all of America's problems.
All the issues.
Yep, conscious communication. Do you have anything more?
That was it.
That's it. This is how it goes. Yeah. High five. This is why we're the best business partners. We love you guys. Add your feedback. How do you consciously communicate? Are you waiting? Are you getting curious, not furious? Getting a good place of space? Are you using I feel statements, eye contact, permission? Check yourself.
Yeah.
Check yourself.
Make
sure it's not about something you may have missed the ball on too.
Mm-hmm.
Get curious.
Curious. Bye, guys.
Happy birthday, me!
Happy birthday, Sarah.